This is good. Your account will be okay. Hi, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to my room. Hopefully, you're all having a good day. And today is the continuation of what we were talking about yesterday. I could not get the paper because of the difficulty I had with our computer and all that. Anyway, this is an ongoing topic. I'll be talking about fitness through our regular functions of the body. Functional fitness is defined as something you can do with your own body, and then you do them while you're at work. Okay, so we talked a variety of things, and hopefully you got some of the points. But I am developing a course based on this because many people are really not taking advantage of this kind of thing that is available to us while we are working, while we are going to work, while we are really doing other stuff at work. We talked about parking away from the place of work and taking the stairs, using corridors, and not sitting in the chair for a long time. So many number of things, right? Now I began to think about it. I compiled a series of things that you could consider as functional fitness, and how you can improve your fitness by being functional. Okay, like able to reach out for things, pulling things, and uh, uh, carrying things, things like that. That normally we take it for granted and we don't do them routinely. And there's a tendency to take it easy and then to do them later, or maybe one day a week instead of every day you can use that. Okay, so civilization, creature comforts, and so-called easiness and user-friendly, all these things make us less of a physical activity, physical workouts compared to what we used to do. Okay, technology has risen and has come and so many convenience, but too much of that convenience can be a problem for us. That is where the creature comforts them, and then they breed laziness and inertia. And when you have that inertia, usually that's not good for the longevity. So hi Kristen. So hi Kristen, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. Okay, so we're continuing from yesterday on the functional fitness, because I was developing a quotes on this because this is so simple, so easily affordable for anybody because you don't have to spend anything, but you can do it while you are working too. So I thought this concept should be available to everybody who is going through, maybe they are burned out because they don't pay attention to their self-care, and part of the self-care is this physical fitness, right? And people are not really paying much attention to that, because even when I talk about wellness and all that, the actual that comes on that list as the last one. But I say that you get to get into fitness level, and then from there, from the fitness level, you can do a lot of stuff, and then you won't sacrifice your health for the long run. Okay, so many of these creature comforts, many of the conveniences that are bred into the modern life, they themselves are not bad things if they are done, in moderation. But then people kind of allow that to make them get more inertia, more lazy, more not doing the things that they normally do. So instead of turning all that we have achieved as modern technology against us, we got to be very alert about how we can become inertia, how to become lazy and all that. So I'm very much against the creature comforts because if you take the ancient cultures or if you take in the underprivileged countries, a lot of people walk, a lot of people climb the stairs, a lot of people take bicycles and ride to the work. A lot of people really don't pamper themselves with the lots of things that we have in the West. Uh, it's okay if you don't have the epidemic of obesity or this self-care is not there. That's why people are burning themselves out. Those kind of things bother me, right? So you could be physically fit and mentally relaxed, and just by doing some exercise. For example, you have stays at your workplace, and you say, okay, I'm going to have this target like a 10 times. I'm going to go up and down today. You can do two after you come home to the work, and then when you take a break, another two. At lunch, another two. Between lunch and dinner, another two, and then before come home, two. That becomes 10. You don't even feel that you have done that. And also, it's a good cardiac workout, and also hips and knees much better that way. So that's why I was always encouraging people to find opportunities at the workplace where you can exert your body and then really have it. Noor is here. Hi, Noor. Welcome. So if you want to come up, you can raise your hand. I'll bring you up. So this is a simple thing that people have to really put in their place every day. Especially if they are going into the 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, like that. I think you better not sit uh, for a longer period and use the occasion to get up and then do some physical thing, whatever it is. For me, hospital corridors, okay, walk from one area of patient care to other area, which we have to do. Sometimes in some hospitals, I had this go-kart where we can get on that and go there. That is given to the person who is on call because the hospital is 720 acres and we get to go and the call time from one building to other building. So that's okay. But then without that, it's kind of, take advantage of walking there. We had a measure for wellness for the girls who were doing EMR super nurses. They are the super users, right? So they were training everybody, and everybody is having a real problem with the new technology. So they were giving the stress back to the nurses who are acting as super users, right? So for them to get out of that thing, I told them walk with a pedometer and then show us that you have walked 10 miles. Then we'll give you 10 miles or something like that. Then we'll give you a massage ticket. Then you can go enjoy the massage. Which they liked. That kind of. We were trying to make them do things as anyhow. So if you have a swimming pool, go and take a couple of laps, and then that will, you know, really refresh you too. I like swimming. Whenever I have the water, I have the facility, I will go there. We used to have this YMCA open, and we had swimming pool and all that. But then they had some problem with administration. They closed it down. But I have my own way to go to the swimming pools in the summer. So whatever works for you, if you have the facilities at the work, you should always take advantage of that. Okay? So we're going to continue to discuss this as our friends join. And yesterday also there were a lot of people came in because they wanted to discuss this topic, and then they liked the idea that we are paying attention to our body and then making it work very well. Okay, that kind of thing. Hi Anisha, welcome. So this burnout is a real thing, and this lack of time is a real thing, and lack of facilities are a fact. That's why many doctors, many nurses tell me that they don't have the time to go. That's understandable, and they don't have energy to go, or they don't have the facility close by to go to, and they can't take another trip and all this because of the lack of time. So I told them, why don't you use your workplace where you can put your body to some kind of simple aerobic exercise, simple stretches. And I also teach them office yoga that they can do in the chair itself. That's a very simple thing. You kind of do stretches for the neck and the lower back, and then also you get up and down from the chair. It's a sitting that is the problem. We call prolonged sitting is the new smoking. It's that dangerous, it lowers your metabolism, and also it kind of makes a stiffness of joints, and which is really not good. We all know that, but then once the body gets used to sitting down for a long time, and it breeds on itself, and that inertia grows, and it kind of enhances the aging. So you don't want to get aging, you want to be agile, you want to be really not having the arthritis or arthralgia with all the stiffness and pain in the joints. You better get up as much as possible. And also stay up. That's why yesterday we talked about raising the computer level to our eye level, and then you can look at the computer straight, and then you don't have to sit down and do stuff, right? So this series I'm going to do functional fitness. They'll have several other topics, and I'm also going to show you what is HIIT, high impact intensive workouts, right? The routines are very simple. You can do it in a gym, or I'm going to suggest some ways of yoga postures that will be blended into this kind of workout. We call that vinyasa, and it's not easy. If you do that, you will really be very strong. One of the things is sun salutations. You can do sun salutations by standing and doing. That's a normal, and that's one of the best aerobic exercises I know. So I have been walking. I ran on the treadmill, and still use the treadmill now. But I don't run. I walk briskly, and also I have a stationary bike. I have a stepper and all that, right? But when I do the sun salutations, which are like a bending back and front. Okay, basically the spine is bent back and front, but then there are so many postures you take. So that is something people can really practice, but you may need some space for that. But if you do chair yoga or office yoga, that's a very practical thing. A lot of people ask me about it. I did show them, I did teach them a lot of times, and then they were able to do at least some of the things. And then I have this head to toe yoga routine, and that is also can be done anybody, everybody, from child to all the way to elderly. Also, people who are a little heavy set and not able to do many things, they are able to do this. They can do it in sitting down in the chair. And also, there is other way I show them of how to scan their body from head to toe. That way they can progressively relax all the muscles. That also helps a lot of people with the stress. So even though it's not functional fitness, but you're having the fitness of the mind. So let's say that is also fitness in a way, right? So that kind of thing. So any questions, anything you want to ask me, Kristin, or Anisha, Dharani, anybody? Okay. This series, as you go along, we will be focusing on exercise, but not only simple, relaxed exercise, but also intense exercise that you could do. And I may bring some of those listed here, and that way you can look at them too. But I have this wellness club that I do during the day with in my yoga studio. People can join that, and then they can also enjoy a variety of exercises too. but there's online, right? So there's so much simpler, otherwise, they can learn things and then use their imagination, ingenuity, and then devise exercises that will be functional, and they are doing it at work or away from the work with whatever suits you. Sometimes people may not have the facility or convenience or the cooperation from the management. They don't want you to do those things. They want to do work, work, work. That's actually that kind of attitude, just work, 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 is what is leading to the burnout. See, people are working, but they're not putting any time for the self-care. That's what this is all about. Okay, it's not that you leave the work and do this, but there are a few minutes break in between. I tell them, take a minute break every hour, take deep breaths, and then do the stretches of the office yoga in the chair. Don't sit in the too long, and then take opportunity to get up and talk on the phone, and then whenever possible move the body that way and this way. All those things in the chair also. When you're sitting down, you can do kind of twisting the trunk, reaching to the toes, and all. So many things you can do. That will be only thing is you have to be aware that I need this. I don't want my teach my body habits that it will grow to learn, and then it doesn't want to move from there. Okay, so then you have to have real good. Uh, Somebody has to motivate you. You have to have a facility. You want to all that. It's not really. Uh, uh, what we say is uh, very early, kids used to play, and then later on, they used to have at least one game. Like somebody has a racquetball, somebody has soccer, somebody has tennis, somebody has uh, cricket. All those things I saw as I was growing up. I was a cricketer, so that is a real like football here. The cricket was a pastime in India, and then there's a very big passion for that. So even to this day, I kind of watch some of the matches of the cricket, and then that's one of the few things that I enjoy from my childhood, right? So there we were bowlers, we were fielders, we were batters, so moving all the time, that was there. That's a good sport in so many ways. So we were playing that, but now video games, sitting in front of the TV, and maybe drinking some beer and alcohol and smoking. All these things slowly robbing our wellness. That's why I kind of very concerned about it. And also, I want people to be more smart because they don't want to react after they get sick. They want to know what causes sickness, what is enhancing this sickness thing mostly, why we are becoming so obese, why we are having so much restlessness, anxiety, depression. All these things I call they're kind of produced by the civilization, and also some kind of lack of awareness on the part of ourselves. It's not a crime or anything, but it's just if you understand and then really see the depths of these things, then you could be moderate in that. And then suppose you want to watch a movie in the sofa, that's fine. But watching movie all the time is the problem. So when you don't do exercise at home, but go to office, maybe you can move around a little bit. You see, remember our original thing: move the body, eat right, and keep the mind quiet, right? But we are doing opposite. We keep our mind running, 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 and keep our body really stationary. That kind of thing is the problem that modern civilization is breeding, and that's why I always tell people, take a look at it, pay attention, and be aware, and then you can easily move the body and then keep the mind quiet. Only use it when you need it. Otherwise, don't use it. So that kind of thing. Christine, you want to say something?
No, I just like what you were saying.
Yeah.
Because I remember that's what you always tell me.
Yeah. So, I mean, it has to be repeated because that's such a simple principle. most of the people, they hear, but they don't take seriously, see? And that's why I repeat them. If they are doing it, well and good, I'm very happy. But if they are not doing it, maybe that will motivate them at that time. That's why I repeat that all the time, Uh, some of the things in life are so simple, but we make them complicated, On the other hand, if you are really yielding to the modern pressures, like they want us to eat this food or do this, watch this show, all those advertisements, they kind of influence us. But then only some people are really self-directed, self-motivated, and really awake to the pressures of that. Because otherwise, most of the people, they fall for this attention grabbing um, advertisements and the sayings that they. So we have to say opposite too. Just because if they are sick and they come to me, no problem. They will. They are there for us, and then they'll come and they will ask for help. But I am on the bandwagon of how can I help these people not get sick at all, or if they get sick, they are able to get over it, and they are able to conquer that, so that they live in, in quality life, energetic, joyful, and also really having vitality, not just weakness or worries, all those things. See, I live like that. Even though other outward things are working or not working, inwardly I'm pretty joyful, happy, and also I don't get rattled just because something is not working out. I focus, I do things, and I don't let my reactions take over me. And that's why I'm preaching the whatever I'm doing, I'm telling other people too. So um, so these kind of things people don't find very attractive, but they find small things not really important. They find it very attractive. But then when the take chronic diseases, what is happening after 50, 60 years, many people are ending up in the nursing homes, and they are not really having a quality life himself. They are vegetables. They can't enjoy anything. They cannot do any activities, and they progressively go down. And then they are like a frail people, very, very frail, and also no purpose, just existing there. So that kind of thing we don't need. We can have right pathways. So the kind of life I'm leading, it doesn't put me in the nursing home, but otherwise I would have been in the nursing home long time ago. So I don't want people to be in the nursing home unnecessarily. Suppose they have some stroke or something like that, they are not able to walk, or suppose they are so weak, they are falling. Yeah, definitely we should protect them. But what I'm saying is many people are left in the nursing home, and then progressively they go down because they don't move much. They try to stay in the bed and sleep and all that. That kind of takes away the tone of their muscles, so they become progressively weak, and also they use interest in all the life's things. They cannot have family coming and visit them all the time. So this also, I saw all this. I have patients in the nursing home. I used to go and make rounds at least once a month. So whenever they are really sick, we used to go there too. So whenever I went there, most people are kind of gave up, are really not interested, they're depressed and all that, or they don't have any visitors in their family. That's a fact of life in America, So young people may be buzzing around, running around without paying attention to their health and wellness. And then when things hit, then they say, "Oh, what happened? Why did I get sick? Why did I become so frail and weak? Why I'm not able to take any difficult task? I get anxious, I get depression, all those things." This is the civilization disorders, I call them. We don't have to, succumb to that. That's what I'm talking about. Make sense, Christian, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a big deal in America. Most of the people die in nursing homes. and most of the people end up in the nursing home. And then from then onwards, many people kind of go down in their strength, in their enthusiasm, in their want to do several things and all that. See? Whereas what I saw, what the reason for this was, I saw the India also, whoever adopted this kind of lifestyle, they are having the same consequences. But the people who are in yoga, who are practicing that, even 80, 85 years, they are independent, they are sharp, and they are going around doing their stuff, and they're helping other people. They do what's called seva. That means service. So they go and help orphans, they go and help the blind people, they go and help just serving some food in the temples and all that. So they do a lot of volunteer work, which requires a lot of your ability, and they go for the disasters wherever they happen. They go and help them. Well, how could they do it? When you look at it, they kind of kept this body intelligence, like sleeping on the floor, or under the trees, or going up the hills, and reaching temples. So much of physical activity that they do, apart from whatever asanas that they do. And they breathe quite a bit. The breathing was like a biggest thing. And then they drink water on and off. But then the main thing they claim is the breathing, giving them a lot of stability of the mind, and a lot of aerobic exercise and all that. Okay, so hi Lois, how are you? Lois is my friend. Let me invite her. So this functional fitness is something, I think we all have to be aware of that. Once we are aware of the problems with the not doing these things, then they become really problem down the line. So I'm going to do a series of talks on this, and that's highlighting what's the need for that, and how you can do, especially when you are burning out, or especially when you are really stressed out. If you don't have the time, or energy, or facilities to go to and work out. Many people may be working out, that's fine. I'm talking about the people who are having this burnout problem, but they don't have time to take care of themselves. Of course, we talk them about the nutrition, sleep, and mind calmness. But apart from that, what kind of exercise you need, so that you don't really, build up on stress yourself. uh, 20 minutes of walking, brisk walking every day for 5 days would be good. Usually 30 minutes a day times 5, 150 minutes a week is what we recommend. And just casually walking, begin with warm up and do the highest heart rate that you could achieve, and or even 80% of what is that. You can calculate and give it to you. To 150 minus age, usually your heart rate thing, of that 80%, 70% will be good. And start slowly, do the maximum heart rate as much as you can. You may have to start with 50, 60%, that's fine. And then last 10 minutes again, come down and relax. That kind of routine, walking or aerobic exercise, is highly recommended. So a lot of people feel that, when they do the aerobic exercise optimally, then they feel that whole blood is circulating and washing it off. That way, they really feel like flushed out, like, and the endorphins release. They feel very well and warm and all that. So that's why very common sensical, very easy to do, and more than doing half an hour only and then doing it, what are you doing rest of the day? How are you teaching your body things like settle down on the sofas and watch the movies, or really lie down in the sofa most of the day, and talking on the phone or watching the TV? All those things are kind of taken like they are not doing any harm in the long run. They do. Why do you think the obesity is so much? Why do you think there's so much of anxiety, depression? Look at the kids; they are not able to form any meaningful relationship with their colleagues or fellow students because they are in the phone all the time. That's the biggest thing that's going on around the world, not just here, around the world. So it's a big problem. Big problem because now if you take the phone away from the kid, they want to kill you. They want that phone unless okay. So somebody is coming here on the wisdom. Let us welcome them. Samuel, I think. Hi, Samuel.
Hello.
How are you?
I am doing well.
Okay.
Well, I just come across your podcast and I was listening to you talking about walking and doing walking, and I've been doing that.
Yeah.
I just been recently diagnosed with heart failure, and I'm trying to get it back up to going. And I was doing some walking and listening to your podcast and found you very interesting.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, what is your thoughts or recommendations on taking CoQ10 and D-ribose?
Yeah. Well, that is a medical advice. That's I try to refrain from the doing that on this podcast. But this is about general wellness, daily habits. Let's talk about your heart failure and the walking. How you can be safe, but at the same time increase that. Okay. So have you had testing done so that they tell you what is your cardiac output was?
Yes. Well, my left ventricle was working at operating at 42%.
Okay, that's good. That's the one. Yeah, that's good enough, Samuel. So 40 and above, that's good. Okay. Now you can also see whether you are fatiguing or having difficulty breathing after you walk certain times, certain distance. Do you have anything like that?
No.
Oh, good.
Whenever I walk, I actually feel better.
Okay.
But I not sleep.
Yeah, that's good. That's like a stress test that people can feel that they're okay to do that. Then what you do is you do what is called a progressive training. That means you establish a goal for you. Like, for example, you want to walk 10 blocks today, right? Okay? And you don't have any problem walking and coming back. That's okay. But if you are tired or if you are dyspneic, that means respiratory distress or chest pain or any discomfort that you have, then you have to stop there. And then next time, remember, I cannot go beyond that. That's the kind of training, so where you say progressively you increase the target as you tolerate them. And that's a good thing because collateral vessels around whatever blockages you have, whatever the heart failure you have, and these vessels help you to breathe better and also to have more blood supply to your heart that is threatened by this, whatever problems that you had. Usually what happens is the heart failure, then the power of that ventricle goes down. And that's why they cannot pump when you're facing the situation where they have to use the ventricle, right? But you can improve its capacity by doing this progressive training, which is excellent to do. You are doing that, that's a very good, but progressively increase. For example, you are climbing stairs, and then you cannot climb so many stairs. Then climb one floor and then take the elevator, or 2 floors, whatever you tolerate. That is the functional fitness we're talking about. You use your own body, you use your own situations and opportunities to exercise. Make sense, Samuel? Hello, Samuel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So that's a very good, you are teaching yourself stress testing by focusing awareness of what is happening within you. And then if it is really discomfort, obviously you have to call the 911 and then go to the emergency room.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, otherwise it's like kind of avoid the precipitants like a heart failure. Also, so many things are there. There are systolic heart failure, diastolic, and also why are you having atherosclerosis, coronary, or valvular problems, or ventricle dilatation. So many reasons we look at it, But all in all, the things that you do with your body is the important thing. I am a yoga practitioner, Samuel. So what I do is I kind of sit down every day for certain time. That's a very good venous return to the heart, and that venous return is enhanced. Then your cardiac output also enhances. So if you could, under guidance, I think you should be able to sit down and completely sit down on the floor if you could, and then get up from there with assistance. And that also helps you a lot. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So that's a good question. People with heart failure, they should be careful, but they should not retire completely. And then they should use this progressive training so that their capacity will be increased. A lot of people with heart failure, they tend to slow them down because they're afraid they may stress the heart. But once you understood with the modern technology what happened to the heart, why you are having this, then depending on the cause, we can allow you to stress yourself, strain yourself so that you can increase the capacity of your heart, and also down the line, it's good for you. Another thing, what happens is there are main coronary vessels, right? They supply to the left ventricle, underneath the right ventricle, and the side of the ventricles too. So, according to if your anterior coronary descending artery and lateral artery, they supply most of the front of the heart, and just to get into the tip. If it is like a inferior of the heart, which is the right coronary. So we know, we can tell even from the EKG what kind of vessel is affected, right? So once you know what is going on, then you can really improve your coronary circulation by opening up some of the correlated vessels that are potential, but they're collapsed. Once you create a demand by exercising a little bit more for the heart, these collateral vessels open up, and then circulation will be going around it. So even if you have a block in the main coronaries, these collaterals around the heart will protect you. That's why it's very important to the aerobic exercise when you have any history of heart disease in your family, or you yourself have it. These days, we can prolong that life for a long time just by cardiac rehab and timed stress testing, and really we don't have to do physical stress also. We can do chemical stress. You give the injection, and that medication will stress the heart, and then we can establish how your heart condition is very well. So it's a very, very well developed technology. It helps us a lot. And we have stress echo. That means we don't even have to walk you. We don't have to put any injections in you, but maybe the dye will be doing that. But then the stress echo is like an ultrasound, right? It can show you what is going on. So there's so much. I used to do stress testing in my office and also in the hospital, from the very beginning, right? 1997. And I used to diagnose a lot of people with blockages, and I could send them to cardiology to get a catheterization done. And then we used to find the blocks and refer them to either angiogram or angiography, or just to put a stent, or to send them to the bypass surgery. So we did a lot of things with those people. So by walking, by doing the things, by knowing your age, by knowing your risk factors and the family history, you can usually diagnose whether you have risk for the cardiac problems or not. If you have, then be careful, and in consultation with your cardiologist, you should develop a program and progressively increase the training. Yeah. So all functional fitness doesn't mean that you just get motivated and go there and lift the chairs and boxes. No, no. You got to know if you are obese, if you have a lot of cholesterol problems, if you have the shortness of breath, the chest pain, all those things we take into account. That's why I always say, before you start to any exercise program, consult your doctor and get it checked out and know what's going on with you. These days, a lot of information is available. I love it because I used to tell my patients when even internet was very popular. I came from New York to here in 95 and I think 96. I think I came here to Midwest. In New York, everybody was like kind of very informed, and then they used to come and ask us questions, and they're happy that we gave them a lot of information. But in here, in Iowa, they used to say, "You are the doctor. You tell me whatever that you want to tell me, then I will do that." Hi, Ganesh. Welcome. So they used to say, "You're the doctor. You tell us whatever you want to do us, we will do it." From there, later on, they picked up some of the stuff from the internet, and I used to encourage them. Come and really ask us questions, find out and all that. I used to tell them what are the reliable sources and all that. So AI is going to give a lot of information to a lot of patients. That's a good thing as a whole, because I want my patients to be informed people and participating in their care. So I was never threatened by it. So suppose they bring some story that is not really medically sound and very dangerous, then we used to tell them too. So that kind of taking responsibility for your health and then getting involved is something I like very much. Hi, Ganesh. How are you?
Namaskar.
Namaskar. What's going on with you?
Yeah, things are fine.
Yeah, good.
Please continue. Files.
Yeah, I'm talking about this functional fitness as part of the burnout training, because a lot of complaints come to me saying that I don't have the time, I don't have the place to go to, I don't have the means, or something like that. So I tell them, why don't you use a workplace around that, built up some kind of exercise routine that you could do without you really realize that I'm doing this. And many people like that because they don't have to make special time, and they don't have to spend money on the yoga studio or this. If they can, they have the routine, that's fine. But if they don't have anything, they are sitting in the chair all the time doing this earmark. That's a typical complaint that I listen to, because they have to sit down a long time, they have to document, and they have to work with the mind and running the mind. Exactly opposite what I'm telling them to do, they are doing. They are keeping the body stationary and mind running. I tell them, move the body and keep the mind silent as much as possible. So, but they may not go all the extent, but at least they can move around, take the stairs, take the corridors, and also do the office yoga, which I teach them, that kind of. So that's what we are talking about here, Ganesh. What do you do? You do exercise quite a lot, I believe, right?
Not really. That is also my problem.
Okay.
What I do is generally I ensure that I walk for some time, around 1 hour.
Okay, good.
But I don't walk very briskly.
Yeah.
I walk calmly.
Okay.
And but I may ensure that I do that.
Yeah.
And I take some sunlight, because that's what is my work.
Yeah.
My room is very dark, so there is a lack of sunlight. So I have to ensure that I take vitamin D sufficient, so I get exposed to sunlight. Walk around, and in the park there are exercise. There are some tools kept for exercise.
Yeah.
So I ensure, I use them. That's it. So that is what I'm doing.
Very good.
But I think this is insufficient.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is obesity, obviously, but not much. But then still it is there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was doing this belly fat series the other day, where I kind of focused on the visceral fat also. My main thing is you develop this belly fat or visceral fat because of the lifestyle. So examine the lifestyles and change them to therapeutic lifestyles. Hi, Lois. Welcome.
Hi, Dr. Ra. How you doing?
I am doing good. I'm delighted to see you here. Okay, how are you?
I'm doing good. I like your topic. Functional fitness to help burnout, because like the other guy that you were talking to a few minutes ago talked about.
Yeah.
He was having a heart failure and stuff like that, and most times that heart failure has the same symptoms as stress and as fight or flight. And if you got heart failure, that means you're staying stressed out for too long and not relaxing. And I like how what you were told them when I had to start bringing stuff in order. I couldn't start 20 minutes a day. I walked 5 minutes one direction, 5 minutes back home. And I did that for a while and a little bit more. Then I started parking my car at the farthest away from the store door as I could, even though I had a handicap thing to put in my window to park at the closest. You know, I just started challenging myself as much as I could. And if, like you said, if I had stairs to go up, I could go upstairs. I may take one flight of stairs and take the elevator the rest of the way. And I would do that on a consistent basis because it's not what you're doing. It's the consistency is what you're doing. Just like it's not what you're eating that's maybe contributed to you, but it's what you're consistently eating. Okay.
Progressively training ourselves, you know.
And it's not that we're under stress; it's being consistently under stress. Okay? and when we learn different things, like you I like how you teach yoga and chair yoga and all that other kind of stuff. But sometimes it just may be that we need to just deal with what's causing the stress and ask ourselves, is this really something to be stressed out about? And for me, some of that functional fitness is just having a gratitude journal. To know what I've been through and what I've gone through and what I know I can handle already. And then the stress doesn't seem to be so much, besides, of course, doing the breath of life and doing other things to calm my physical, my internals down. Because when we're stressed out, we do a lot of damage to our bodies because it causes diabetes, it causes heart failure, it causes high blood pressure, because all of your stuff goes to be mobile when you get stressed out, because it's making you run from a saber-toothed tiger that you created in your mind about something that's happening with you.
This series, Lois, I'm going to do that journaling and also, but we are focusing to begin with how we're going to deal with your body. See, I'm a yoga practitioner, so I kind of enjoy this quietude all the time, the awareness part of it, right? So I only do conscious thought. So for me, that's a very easy thing. But then a lot of people, as you said, they kind of stress out themselves with all these things. So we're going to take all those things in this functional fitness also. Like, for example, you're walking in the corridor, like the physicians, we walk there, right? A lot of time we see people are hurrying, people are really driven by unnecessary things. Even though you don't have to hurry, they do hurry themselves, you know, and that's not really good, because you got to keep your mind quiet and then be aware of what's happening in the body. Then you can attend to them. Suppose you are really getting short of breath, then you got to take action about, check it out, what's going on, is the heart having a problem? A lot of times we see that, and then people drop in the middle of the hospital. So that's unfortunate. In this day and age, we can be proactively doing these things and getting better. That's my point. See, I come up with a new term now, guys, what's called proactive wellness. It's not just.
Oh, I love it. I love it, because the thing is that if we're not proactive, we're going to be reactive.
And
when we're reactive, we end up having to do whatever it is necessary to deal with the acute problem, whether it's medication, whether it's whatever. But if we're proactive, we may not ever get to that reactive phase. We got to take medication for the things that ail us. And this conscious, the whole meditation and quieting your mind, that does so much more, so that you can hear what your body is saying to you, because our bodies are talking to us 24/7, and they're telling us what they need. They're telling us to get up and move. They're telling us to call a certain person at a certain time or whatever. But the thing is that most of us get so busy that we don't listen, and we get so busy that we don't hear the little voice that says, take the stairs, not the elevator. We don't hear the voice that says, eat this, not that.
Usually we shut it down.
Because we're moving too fast. And I know that when I was at my sickest, if I got up in the morning too fast, my blood pressure would drop so fast, I would lose my balance.
Yeah. Yeah. We say that the little voice that is telling us, we shut it off. Come on, keep quiet. I'm going to go and do this. That's the problem. Like I want them to slow down. See, basically, the proactive wellness has come up from this. If you take really self-realized people, that are people who are really realize who they are the healthiest because they have conscious thought. They don't let the mind go whatever they want. They use that very effectively. And they are aware of every corner of the body and they know what's going on, and that is why they are so healthy, they live longer. Okay, people don't want to go self-realization and all that, that's fine. But the next thing is, we have so much of scientific developments that can tell us you can have a heart attack in 20 years if you don't take care of yourself, that kind of thing. Diabetes, for example, we can tell you are pre-diabetic and then take action now, then you want to go to reflect diabetes, even if you have the genes, that kind of knowledge we have. What I'm saying is, why are we not using that? Why are we not being, we do this with the top executives who are making a lot of money. They come because a lot more involved with them. So many people are depending on employment and all that. So they're making so many millions. So the family and everybody come and bring those guys. Then we do a lot of proactive things. That way, their blood is clean, their functionality is clean, their mental status is clean, all that. But they have to spend a lot of money to get better too. But what I say is, you don't have to spend all that. You can use common sense and determine, am I healthy? Am I mentally cool? Am I having this energy? Those kind of common sensical things will tell you how you are, where you are, and then take advantage of things you have in the regular life.
Yeah, and I would add, just say, whatever you're doing, take your time. Take your time. Yeah. Take one step at a time. Treat yourself like a child. Be soft. Go soft. Don't walk hard. Just be soft. And because
be kind to yourself.
I got sick as I did because I was always ripping and running, and always, always on time, but always feeling like I'm pressured to be. I'm gonna be late. On the inside. And that right there created a situation of stress within my body that eventually took its toll, where I did get diabetes and high blood pressure and all the rest of the stuff. Okay, because I was moving too fast. They gotta grind, gotta do this, gotta do that, and never taking vacations. Now that was my biggest faux pas throughout my career before I retired, was I didn't take vacations. Okay, I would cash them out, buy my kids something, pay for their school, because Sharente was in private school. I did what I thought I had to do, but it made me sick because I was not taking care of my own needs while I was taking care of everybody else. So now I know to treat myself like a little baby. Take one step at a time. If I start something new in my fitness journey, I don't try and go in there and lift the most heaviest weights I can find. No, I start out with something little and I work my way up, just like I walk 5 minutes one way in the beginning and 5 minutes back. Exactly. Now I do 2.5, 3 miles a day. So it's not that
you got to be kind to yourself.
You break your neck to exercise and all that kind of stuff. And then I do things like when I'm cleaning my house, when I'm washing walls, I start at the top and I go all the way down as far as I can, and I squat, and then I raise back up while I'm washing the walls. So it's like I'm getting this extra fitness in without actually doing the extra work, because I don't like the gym. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like the gym. Okay. I don't know why. I don't know what I have about the gym that I don't like, but I found that if I do different things, or even when I'm cleaning my house, washing my dishes, I'll put on some music and I'll walk in place while I'm washing dishes. So it's kind of like you get it in where you can fit it in. And it doesn't have to be some big old, or that I got to go out, work out for 50 minutes and do all this kind of stuff. No, you can do the basic things you already do, but then just be conscious that, hey, I can maximize my walking if I take the stairs this time. Or I can maximize this shopping trip and get my exercise too by parking at the end of the parking lot instead in front of the door. It's those little functional things you can do that increase your functioning so that you can get up off the floor if you get, because I'm 62. I can get up and down off the floor easy, like sometimes really fast, okay? But there was a time when I was on the floor and I couldn't even get my ass up. Excuse my language. Okay? And it was because I was too heavy and because I was too weak.
Yeah.
Okay, but I did not strengthen overnight. It was tiny baby steps, treating myself like baby. And then I didn't beat myself up. And then I did not give myself an excuse to quit.
Yeah.
Because I do that. I can do, man, I do that fast. I do that easy.
Yeah, you got to
All I
be.
gotta do is focus on somebody else.
See, one big thing I'm teaching people is be in touch with your body. What's going on within that, that's not self-reflection, not that, but being aware of what's going on. What are the signals I'm getting from the body? And be kind to the body and be kind to yourself. Then you can adopt them slowly and nicely. Then you won't build up additional stress. See,
Right.
as it is, you have problems, and then the life itself throws hurriness and fight out. See, one of the biggest things, Loy, is this sympathetic overload. People feel hurried, people have to achieve things, people have to be comparing to other people. All that brings up that sympathetic overload very high. Simple thing is deep breath. Deep breath every time so often, then you will have parasympathetic stimulation, which is like an antidote to the sympathetic overload. See, modern life, people imagine dangers when there are no dangers. And then they spoil their health with the stress hormones and all that. That's why all this longevity in the ancient yogis and all that, because they have taken these steps. So they say, is this really important or not? They call that viveka. What is temporary, what is really immaterial, they let it go. What is important, what is permanent, they wanted to hold on to. That
Or
kind.
is it, or Dr. Rao,
Yeah.
since I'm a therapist, well, I'm retired, but is it true? Is what I'm saying true? Okay, because most of the time we're lying to ourselves. If I don't get there, I'm gonna get there. This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. And the thing is that we don't know what's gonna happen when we get there.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're making this of these narratives in our brain that is causing our biochemistry to release all that adrenaline and all that stuff into our system in way stronger doses than we need to have. You're a doctor, you know how that works, and then that pumps up the heart rate, that send that blood rushing through the arteries. It does all that stuff. It makes your digestion slow down because your legs got to get ready to run.
Yeah.
And the thing is that the person has just did all this, building themselves up in their head that this is the terrible thing and it's something to be fearful about. But I beg to ask the question, is what you're thinking about, whatever it is that's stressing you out, does it have any ounce of truth?
That's why we call them imagined threats, imagined dangers. They're not really.
Yes, exactly. And then has anything that you imagine that has gotten you into the state of anxiety where the stress is turned to anxiety,
Exactly.
has it ever really happened? Has what you imagine to happen ever happened? And most of my clients just say, no, but.
Yeah.
Okay, no, it's not a but. It did not happen.
Yeah.
So you're making this up in your mind and your body with your thoughts. Your thoughts release those biochemicals that put your body in motion, and it releases those energy and motion that causes you to do and feel certain types of way. And then you wondering what's up, and then you want to blame somebody because you said they made me feel this way. They did this. They did that. No, can't nobody think your thoughts.
Yeah.
Can't nobody walk for you. Can't nobody calm you down but you. And if you're not calming you down, then what is? Okay, your body can only do so much. And if you don't let it relax at all, it can't keep running on stress mode 24/7.
Yeah,
every day, day in, day out, gotta grind, gotta get it. You're gonna work, you like Rihanna, work. You're gonna work yourself to death.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I say go soft, don't go hard, take your time, getting up in the morning. Don't even get up when you first wake up. Lay there.
Yeah.
Think about how does your body feel? Do you feel anything?
Hey, Lois, I want to tell you something about a room that I'm doing on Saturday mornings. You may be interested in that. This is about completely, self-realization and association of good people. So the discussion will be at that level. Probably you'll be interested in the spiritual stuff. That's at 7 o'clock my time. That is like a 8 o'clock Eastern time. Okay.
Okay. I'm in Pacific time.
Pacific. Oh, okay. That's too early for you. Too early
So
for you.
what time? Where are you at?
I'm in Iowa, Midwest, Central time. You know.
Okay, so you're 2 hours ahead.
Yes, you are 5 o'clock. I'm 7 o'clock. That's too much problem.
Okay, all right.
But
so
listen to the
so if
replay.
I'm up, I will tap in because
Yeah.
I get up early every morning just
Yeah.
because I want to get.
Because this is right up your alley. This is right up your alley. That's why I'm mentioning that to you. You know.
Okay, well, I'll try to be there, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to add that in there because I know that when people see functional fitness help burnout, what is functional fitness? It's just to help you move your body easily to do things you need to do to open a bottle of pickles if you got, you know.
Yeah. They used to do all these things, you know, functionally. People used to do physical so much work. Now it is gone. And that is becoming a problem for a lot of obesity, a lot of cardiac disease, heart disease, all those diabetes. Is becoming a routine. We don't have to make it a routine. Anyway, I am almost done with 7 o'clock is now.
Thank you, Dr. Rao. I
Thanks.
appreciate having this conversation with you. You know I love you, Dr. Rao.
Yeah, I do. Right. Thanks for coming up. And I know how you feel about these things. That's why I'm very happy that you are here. And we will see you again. Tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, I'll be doing the satsang online, and we will explore, get off deep into the matters of self-realization, other things. So I was going to do on the Zoom too, but last time I did not put the Zoom on. This time I will give the Zoom link for people who want to come and talk more with me. That will be there for too. So, okay, Kristen, any other questions, any comments you want to say?
No, I like a lot what you had to say, what Lois had to say as well, and you know, I like the place where she's been at previously, you know, and
Yeah.
get here for her.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you again tomorrow. Okay. I will close the room because I'm going to go to the Maya McNulty's long COVID room. Christine, if you want to come there, and then we can introduce them to what we're trying to do. Okay. Next Saturday we'll have that long COVID conference where people can come and ask questions and learn some more things that may help them. Okay. All right. I'll see you there.